All right, we're gonna do a sparring workout. Before we do that, we're gonna turn down this soft music.
Sorry. Before.
What?
I didn't do that before.
Yeah, I was having a conversation. I can't do that before. So I can only do that before. Unless you want me to waste the live stream talking to my students. All right, so we are going to warm up. We've got a couple basic sparring drills for you, a couple reaction drills, and there may be some different techniques for you to try. So let's start off with side straddle hops, 20 times, go. All right, now we're going to go forwards and back. So you're going to go forward together, other side together. So forward and back, 20 times total. So that'll be 10 per side. Okay, ready, go. All right, so now we're going to do pretty much the same thing, but you're going to move backward and forward. So I'm going to go back and forward, back and forward. Okay, 20 times again, let's go.
Okay, this one feels weird. I must have lost count. I must have skipped 5.
All right, now we're going to do a quick up rock step. You're going to here and switch. Okay, go.
Oh, we got a couple of our red blacks joining today.
Woo-woo!
All right, no. We're going to go up, down. Not really up, down, so it's up, down with a bounce. Normal up, down goes here, which is really good for getting one kick speed. But we're going to practice it with a hop. So hop, down. This helps the coordination for slides. So if I want to get into my slides, which we'll do in a second, I want to make sure that I have the coordination where this foot and this foot move together, so I'm not going step and kick. It's at the same time. Just a little hop, not a jump, okay? So we're going to throw 10 kicks per leg. So just up, down. Okay, ready, go. My left leg kicks faster because my right leg can't. All right, so we should be warmed up. Let's stretch the hips. See if I can. Bend your knees, crab. See? Ooh, yeah, I can do it. Feel that one. Let's go. Hamstrings, legs straight. Reach to one side. Go to the other side. And back to the center. And relax. Cool saw. Shake it out a little bit. When I shake my leg like this, which you probably see me do all the time, I'm trying to get my hip to pop. Because I know eventually it's gonna go and the big ones hurt. Okay, so I already talked a little bit about that slide. We're gonna start with one slide at a time. But to make this more focused, I guess, we're gonna start standing on one foot, and you're gonna hit 5 of these per leg. So we're not gonna go super fast. What you're gonna do is you're gonna focus on this moving at the same time as this. You can pick round kick or side kick. Round kick to me actually feels weird. Feels much more comfortable to slide in side kick. But I want to feel like the push and the side kick happen together, not 1, 2. Right? So take your time, hit 5, slide side kicks. Go. Don't practice stepping first. Practice picking up your knee, hold your balance, then hop. There you go. If you want to make it even more deliberate, do the other side. I'm going to do a backward and then forward motion. Because, see from the side, if I start from right here and I just pick up my leg, I'm going to fall because of the angle of this leg is moving that way. So I need to go backward until this leg is straight. Now I can pick up my knee and hold my balance and then slide. So you're not sliding from here, but you're sliding from here, going back first and then going forward. Bam. All right? So you do have to have that lean. I will tell you, you can do anything too much. But leaning back on a sparring slide is kind of like eating too much salad. You can, but it's really hard to eat too much. So I can lean as far back as I want to hit this kick. So I can go pretty flat and still control my balance. But the opposite is true if you stand up. If I stand up straight, it is much harder. Now if you're flexible and you can get your knee up this high without leaning, you can still manage to hit that same position. The highest I get is about right here without leaning, but I prefer to get my shoulders and my head away from my targets as I'm kicking. So the highest I stand is actually about right here. I'm never straight up and down. And if I'm going underneath a kick, my head is always the furthest thing away from my target, which is all the way back here. We're gonna try this static first. We'll use side kick just for the purpose of the drill, but 90% of the time I'm in this position, I'm throwing hook kick. So we're gonna go, let me play sideways again, all the way to here, like almost flat, and hit this side kick and see how it feels to be ducking down and attacking at the same time. Okay, so 5 times, duck down and side kick. Bend your back leg a lot. Got some questions for y'all in a second. I doubt anybody will know, but if you got the answer right at home, then awesome. Kick a little bit sooner. There you go. There you go. All day, all day. All day, every day. All day, all day, every day.
Feels like I'm gonna fall over.
Jim, you're getting a shout out from Deb. She says, kick butt, little brother.
Kick butt, little brother. All right. So the question is, what is going to benefit me the most for an attack? Or I guess the difference between attack and defense. Which stance would I use for attack and which stance would I use for defense? So my target's over here. Which stance, what am I prepared to do right now? Attack or defend versus what am I prepared to do right now? Attack or defend? Now, hopefully, you guys were able to answer it, but just in case you didn't or you don't know, the closer my feet are together, the faster I will move forward. The further my feet are apart, the more I can shift my weight without giving up ground. So defense, my stance is much wider because I can shift my weight a lot without moving this foot. So kicks coming at me, I can give myself 2 to 3 inches to dodge that kick and counter you. So anytime my partner goes to attack, if I'm going to tank their attack, which normally means you're going to counter it, you're never going to tank or go into a tank style sparring just for defense. The only reason for you to sit down and hold your ground is to hit him back. So you got to make sure that you have the ability to move, because if I do that right here, you're still going to get hit. Somebody's going to catch you in the head. All right, so I need to be wide enough that I can still dodge without giving up this ground. Wow. All right, so same idea. Head's going to be leaning way back, but instead of trying to slide forward, which is where my feet are pretty close together, you're going to go from a wide stance, you're going to go backward, and notice how my head still goes down. So whatever kick's coming at me, they're on top of my hip. I go underneath, so I'm looking up at my target and throw my kick. So we're going to throw 5 of these. I'm throwing a hook kick. If you don't know how to hook kick, throw side kick, but hook kick just is going to feel a lot more comfortable in this position. Lean, bam. Make sure you go backward and then hit 5 times. Well, I'm throwing normal hook kick because I don't know if Z, reverse Z would hurt. Nothing I've done outside of the crab stretch has actually hurt. But I don't want to test too much. Get Bob right in there. This is what you're doing with that. Bob is already on my hip. Now, my shoulder is open. Punch is probably the best option. I can punch and backstep or sidestep. Boom. But shoulder sideways if my partner's on my back, I'm not going to try to reach and punch across, nor am I going to try to turn and face them because it's going to take too long. They're going to hit me long before I have the ability to do anything. So I'd rather just keep my chest in this protected area where my shoulders are facing away from the target. Your head then becomes the main target that this person's going to go after, which is why it's so important that you move your head away. Because if you stand still, if you're sparring me, that's what I'm going after. So if your head is still here when I kick, your head is gone. You got to get your head out the way. So I'm going to lean back, wide stance. Normally from right here, this leg is too close, but I'm not kicking based on where this leg is. I'm kicking based on where this leg is. So if I have this foot really far back, I have the ability to give myself space without moving this leg. So from here, I'm going to lean and counter my target. So it looks to this person like they're right on top of my shoulder, and I'm not going to be able to pick up this leg. This wide stance is what allows me to get the space to kick them. Even though they feel like they're right on top of me, they're not, okay? Side kick will also work in this scenario, but we normally prefer to go after the 2-pointer. If I'm in continuous sparring, I normally would go with the side kick just to back them off. But if you're going for point sparring, I'm going to go after the 2-pointer because they'll call break after I get. So now let's amp it up just a bit. We're going to do a static version of double slides and then the active version of double slides. So the static, my legs out, get my balance, 1, 2. Okay, slide, and I'm not fully extending my kick because of my knees and my hip. I'm afraid it's going to hurt. But in normal sparring, I very rarely fully extend my kick anyway. So this shortened side kick is most of the time how I actually hit. All the power is in that little spot. This will stop you from hitting too hard, and it'll also stop you from falling off balance more often. So we're going to do a set of 5. 1, Once again, hold still, soup, soup, and then rinse and repeat. 5 times, let's do it. Lean it a little higher, or not a little higher. Lean back a little more, lift your knee a little higher.
Kristen's joining us.
So high
Hi,
is gonna
Chris.
be like this, not like this. You don't need to flatten out as much. Yeah, there you go. You want your knee to cover this. Pick up your knee. Now I'm touching your hip and not your rib. That's what you're trying to get. Stop. Stay there. Wow. Wow. I really want to like run, jump at Bob, grab controller and swing around so my legs are up here, turn and roll and throw Bob through my legs.
So you have a Black Widow.
I want to do that movie throw. It was not it's actually not a movie throw, it's the WWE throw that became a movie throw. Y'all know the WWE is still doing shows? Like, we ended up on the channel yesterday, and there's no audience. So it's just 3 random people talking to another 3 random people with no crowd reaction. It is like the worst soap opera you've ever seen in your life. Watching wrestling with a crowd is like watching the worst stage performance. But they have no crowd, so it just becomes a soap opera. And it's terrible. One of them hit him with a devastating strike, and the big 300-pound dude got flattened out by the forearm of doom. I would teach you guys the WWE forearm of doom, but it's just too dangerous, guys. You can't handle it. I don't want accidental deaths happening. Okay? All right, so it pulls the soul out of your body like in Riddick. All right, we're gonna go. We're gonna go active before we triple up. Sorry. So I'm gonna go from apart and together. Now you can do this from straight up and down here, but most of the time my feet aren't moving that statically. I'm moving all over the place, so I prefer in practice to go from here, either forward and back or just apart together like a side straddle. So I'm gonna go side straddle, together, slide, slide. Hop, hop, slide, slide. And the biggest thing that I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get my feet together before I advance. But I'm not trying to do it by stepping forward. Stepping forward is a tell. And anytime I show you I'm coming, you have that little bit extra time to get away from me. You might get away without the tell. So if I show you I'm coming first, you will definitely get away from me 100% of the time. All right, so again, I'm gonna go apart, together, knee up, hop, hop. And I want the rhythm to stay about the same, like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't want to go 1, 2, stop, boom, boom. So if you're not comfortable with this motion yet, it might be a little bit tricky at first. But once you get it down, this should feel natural. That one's not the same speed, but get the idea. All right, let's go. Five is always. You go together apart. You go apart, together, go. Yes, try to keep that bounce, bounce, bounce. Yes, there we go. There we is too. There's every word in the alphabet at the same time. That's every word in the English language in 3 seconds. All at the same time. Hit every vowel. I will also tell you guys this, for anybody who actually does follow along with this, you don't need to stop just because we stop. If we're moving on to something else that you think is important that you wanna work on, continue to move with us and then just log this on your database or have like a little notepad and write down what exercise it was that you were struggling on. Because when we're done, you're gonna go back and do that exercise again. We're doing sparring every Tuesday. You guys can do these drills 3-4 times a week. If sparring is your focus and you want to be good at sparring, The only thing you can do right now is expand your toolbox. So if you do this a lot, your toolbox is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. The things you're going to be able to do without thinking about it, that's the biggest thing. The more you can do it without thinking about it, the better it's going to be for you. As long as you have to slow down and think what your feet are doing, you can't do it all at once without thinking, you're not going to be able to accurately or consistently apply it during an actual sparring match. All right, so now we're going to triple up. We'll work on the slide a little bit different in just 1 second. But for right now, we're going to go static, and we're going to change targets. Because very seldom do I hit the same height twice in a row. Normally it's low-high. I do like going high-low against shorter opponents, so that's all based on my flexibility. For you guys that have the ability to hold high chambers, this would be like Michaela or Megan. If you can hold high chambers, Caleb, high hip flexibility, then high-low is wonderful. Matter of fact, Caleb used to do that combination a lot. But if you don't have really high hip flexibility and your partner is the same height as you or taller, it's probably best just to go low-high. So we're going to start with a low, middle, high, low being to the knee, which obviously is not allowed in sparring, but just for our dexterity or practice. We're going to hit 3 of these. So low, middle, high. And what you want to do is you want to shake your leg. Shake, shake, shake. Everybody just do that real quick. Shake, shake, shake. That's your round kick. I'm not hitting with power. So I'm going shake, 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 and I'm just going to let the elevator lift. You just try to make your knee match the speed of that. Shake, 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 and my leg is going to go 1, 2, 3. All right, and that's going to turn out to be shake, shake, shake. All right, so your triple tap on the bags, pop, 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 is all going to be based on how fast your knee moves, but more on how fast you can shake your foot. So it's not very powerful. It's not crazy fast. It's small. It's more small than it is fast. So that's my shake, not that, right? So 3 times. That should be enough info. Pop, pop, pop. 3 times. Go. If you have a bag or somebody holding a bag, listen to your pattern. You want your pattern to be like 1, 2, 3, or if you're going faster, that's fine. But you don't want to hear like 1, 2, 3, have it go slower with every kick. You want it to be the same. So let's get Bob back in here, and let's use Smith as my example, because I am afraid to hit stuff. Which leg? Okay. So all you're gonna do is listen to any target. You can hit the stomach 3 times, because I don't know how that feels on it. But 1, 2, 3, go ahead. All right, so you hear the same boom, boom, boom. What you don't hear is like 1, 2, 3. There's no pause as you go to the top one. If you can shake your leg and make your knee move at the same speed, you'll hit all of them at the same speed. Because once I'm chambered, there is really no such thing as kicking slow. The slow part comes from here to there, right? That wasn't too bad. It's still scary though. I'm gonna hit with my left leg. I'm gonna hit with my left leg. So once I get here, the only thing it takes time is going from that distance. So that's easy. So once you get up, once you get that knee up, the speed should come naturally. Of course, you can go faster than that, but that is plenty of speed to hit people with combinations. So now let's go to the hard part. So we're gonna work on that slide again, because nobody just stands there. Nobody worth training against. And this is also one of the things that I tell you guys. If you're doing techniques and you're in class and you're like, yo, I hit everybody with this, and I tell you that I want you to change it, in the back of your head, you're going, well, I just hit so-and-so with this 100 times. But so-and-so might be a new sparrer, unexperienced, intimidated, or just plain bad. That exists. And I'm not going to judge how well I did against somebody that doesn't know what they're doing. What I'm trying to train you for is fighting people that do know what they're doing and still be successful. So if you imagine you're sparring a black belt, if you are a black belt, you always imagine that. But if you imagine you're sparring a black belt or sparring myself or Miss Smith or Miss Matthews, ask yourself, if I did this, would it work against them? Especially you running punchers. I'm going to spread out him a punch 30 seconds straight. It worked. He never got a move off. Do that against a black belt. You have really sore ribs and your lunches on the floor from 3 days ago. So it's very important to try to advance these techniques. So when I'm saying my triple kick or my double kick, if you're really good at throwing doubles and it works on people that aren't evading you, it's just because they're not experienced. But if you throw a double kick at me, I'm going to dodge the first one. If you stay in the same spot and throw the second kick, you're not going to hit me. So you have to be able to chase. So the faster my bottom foot moves, the faster the kick's going to come out. So I'm not going to focus on the kick this time. We're going to focus on a slide, and we're going to throw 2 slides, and we're going to do 2 variations of this as well. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and the first thing I want you to notice is my foot doesn't come off the ground. So I don't know if you can hear that, but I'm not hopping, I'm sliding. So I'm dragging my foot. So it's more of a forward, push, and pull. So I'm going to push and then pull my leg back under me this way instead of going up. So you'll cover a lot more distance much quicker. And then the faster this foot moves, the faster this foot moves. So let's do 5, just slide, no kick. 1, 2, 3, both sides. I'm trying to drag. I get carpet burn on the bottom. I've got mat burn. We used to have all mats. I got mat burn on my feet from doing this so many times. Like if you roll your foot just a little bit, especially moving backwards, skin the top of my pinky toe all the time. Actually, I tore all the skin off the top. This toe is so callous because of how many times I did that. All the skin off the top of this toe once. I remember from throwing a lazy chamber from a back leg ground kick, I went, I just drug my toes along the ground, and it was just like all white and red. Red on the blood, it almost looked like bone. It's not bone. That was under the dermis. Not the epidermis, just the dermis. I had dermatitis. It's the same thing I said to all my teachers when they asked dumb questions.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Mr. Matthews, what's 5 plus 5? It's 10, dermis. Alright, so anyway. We're gonna go use that in your daily life. That gives you a reason to use the word dermis. What you learn in school. So now you add the kick to it. This is not hard to go fast. Once again, it's based on your bottom leg. It's not hard to kick fast, and it's not hard to slide fast. How fast you slide is based on your skill level. The part that's difficult is timing it. So the timing is what's going to slow you down. It's not going to be that you're not fast enough to kick or you're not fast enough to slide. It's that your coordination between this leg and this leg struggle. So one of the issues will be the 1, 2, 1, 2. So you notice when I stop, when I kick separate, so I slid and then kicked, my foot has a tendency to drop after that, which means I also have to pick it back up before I slide again, because if I try to slide with my foot down, you're going to fall over, which a lot of you guys do. You go, and you end up putting your foot down on the second kick. So for me to keep my leg up, I need to make sure that this kick goes at the same time as this push. Push kick. Not 1 and then 2, just 1. And now, if I can do that consistently, every time this foot slides, this foot kicks, so I only need to focus on this foot sliding. So if this foot is going this fast, 1, 2, 3, and my knee stays high, my kicks will come out 1, 2, 3. This way. Notice my knee doesn't go down and back up. So I don't have to wait for it, and it doesn't throw off my balance. Second, your knee drops, normally because you paused, you're toast. So, and the further back you lean, you can do this from back here. It's a little bit weird to lean that far for forward motion kicks, but should have a lean. So focus on the slide. See how fast you can get the slide to go, but make your kick match the slide. All right, let's get 5. I don't know. I felt that one none of the others.
You got faster, stronger.
Maybe. Maybe kick a little harder on the third kick.
Yeah.
It's not do that. We got one more before that one. Actually, I'll probably have to demonstrate. I'm just gonna play safe and have you demonstrate the rest.
Okay.
I'm not toast, but I'm not. I've done more today than I've done in the last 3 weeks, and I'm not willing to lose that.
I'm dropping
Make a wish. All right, I'm gonna use this simply as a target, so you guys can see what I'm trying to get Miss Smith to do. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna back up for her first slide, and she's not going to kick. So there's a whole bunch of this going on when I spar, which means I slide and I don't kick. I advance, the target moves, the target's not there. I was ready to hit the target if it was there, but there's going to be a lot of times when the target is not there. The target gets out of the way. So I need to be able to pull this down or do the second slide. So she's going to do 2 slides, 1 kick. You can do the static if you don't have a bag holder or a target, or you have like a bag that doesn't move. Just give yourself some space, slide once without kicking, slide twice and kick. Sometimes this can be a little bit weirder. I know myself personally, I have a habit of stopping before I kick more often on this one than the last one. The last one's pretty natural to me, but this one sometimes gets weird. You just gotta make sure you kick with the second slide. So I'm gonna stand still for the first one. She's gonna do 2 slides and a kick on the second slide. The second one, if you have somebody to hold the bag for you, and you can do this in the air too, I'm gonna back up for the first kick only, and then she's gonna reach for the second kick. So go ahead. All right, so the double slide without the kick, I can slide a lot faster and a lot further without kicking. So if I'm just trying to cover distance and chase, I don't need to actually kick every time I hop. Otherwise, you take too long, and the partner that's evading you can walk. I can evade you like this, and then you feel silly, and then normally get a little bit frustrated, and then you overreach, and then I take advantage of that. So what we're going to do is we're going to stay calm and collected, slide but no kick, slide, and then kick the second time you slide. All right, let's try 5 of those. Relax a little bit, relax your shoulders, all of that. You don't have to make the motion big either. These motions can be small. Yeah, that's another thing. If you guys have actually watched me spar and seen my footwork or paid attention to my footwork, you should notice that I don't actually move that far on a lot of my attacks. I very seldom cover my maximum distance. I know what my maximum distance is, but my maximum distance also is the slowest, right? So I'm more or less going to avoid taking that. So if I'm trying to get faster, I'm only moving like 1 stance length, maybe not even quite a stance length. Let's see, if I start with my front foot on the line, all right, so about 1 stance length, a little bit more. That's how far I'm moving with my normal slide. I'm not going from this line to that line on every attack. I can move 6 feet in 2 hops, but I can also run into whatever you were loading up in those 2 hops much faster. I have less balance, I have less control. It's just not worth it. So if you're having trouble because you're going too far, just shorten it up a little bit and see if that makes it a little bit easier for you. Even if it's just 1, 2, even if it's just that little bit. Maybe I don't have good knees, maybe I don't have good calves. Anybody who saw me at the beginning of my return from this knew that my slides look like that. Because I was trying to slide off my heel, but because I could not push off of my toes. And I eventually got it stronger to where I can do it again, but it's got to start with those little pieces. So if your calf is not very strong, you're not going to be able to cover up a ton of space, and that is okay. You don't try to use my arsenal in sparring. You don't try to use his arsenal or hers. You try to use your arsenal. And all I'm trying to do right now is build my arsenal. But you use what you have. So if I have the ability right now today to hit this double slide, then I'm going to use this double slide. If I have the ability to accurately, quickly throw spin kicks, then I'm going to do that. If I don't, I'm not going to use it because the tool's not ready yet. And if you want that tool to be ready, you need to do what we're doing right now. and just see how many different variations of this same kick you can throw and get good at the kick. So the last one I'm going to throw at you is a double slide with a switch. Now, the double slide, we're just practicing. I can throw 2 kicks or 1 kick. In this scenario, we're going to throw 2 kicks, but we're going to throw a switch at the end of it. So a switch can come from any position. You can come from feet on the ground or foot in the air. In this particular case, my foot is in the air, and it's exactly what it sounds like. You switch feet. So if both feet are on the ground, my switch would be like a little mini jump in place. From here, it's gonna feel like running, like this, like running in place is what it should feel like. It should not feel like a jump. If you're trying to jump on one leg, it will go incredibly slow, and it'll be really hard to rotate your hips. So you're gonna go kick, kick, switch, and just feel like you're running in place. Let me get a paddle so we can try it. Show you what it actually looks like. So she's gonna throw, back up so I don't run in the bottom. 2 sliding round kicks followed by a switching round kick. Swoop, swoop. That's your goal. That's your drill. Well, the first.
I was just going higher.
The first two kicks are the setup. It's me getting on top, and I'm normally using side kicks, not round kicks. It's a little weird to throw a round switch round because one goes one way and the other one goes the other way. So throwing side kick switch round will feel a lot more comfortable. But you guys are gonna throw slide, slide, switch 5 times. Last drill. Let's go. And if you're not used to stuff like this, you should get a decent calf workout out of everything you just did. The last time I did that, I hit John Moncrief. John, if you're listening, I don't know if you remember this day. This is back when my studio was over here. We were in the back, and it was a team element workout, which team element was my first tricking team. And it was with all my brothers, all of us that got element tatted on us, except for Bobby, because he doesn't like ink. Master Erdman. We are doing one of our normal sessions. We're practicing tricks and formations and whatever so that we could go do performances. And all of our sessions always ended with us sparring. We always got together to practice tricks and demo formations, but we always ended up sparring. So we're sparring these long matches, and I decided I was going to throw this round skip hook at John Moncrief. And caught him in the forehead, was all happy about it, and we're not wearing headgear, so I got sweat all on the bottom of my foot, slipping on the ground, all that stuff. I was like, whoo! Tried it again. I got pretty dang close, didn't quite catch him, but I'm like, oh, I'm loving this kick. And then my homegirl that was hooking us up with this ATEC performance walked in the door to see us sesh, because I told her we were there training, which we weren't. We were playing, we were sparring. And I decided I'm going to show out for my homegirl and do it again. And all I know is that when I turned around, he wasn't there. But his foot was. And it hit me dead. His heel hit me dead in the eye socket. And I was just... And this is like 3 seconds after my homegirl walked in the door. First thing she sees is me get laid out on the floor by John's Z-kick. And he disappeared because he was down here. So I'm looking for a head that's up here, and I didn't see him. And this foot just... Bop! And I stopped throwing that in sparring because John taught me a valuable lesson that just because it works once doesn't mean I'm going to let you do it twice. You'll pay for it dearly if you decide to repeat attacks. Or if you're trying to show off at all, just win the match. All right, so in any case, all of these motions are based on your slides and the way that I'm going to attack. We did a little bit of just defensive posturing, but outside of that, everything was based on moving forward. The better I am at this, the better you're going to be at moving forward. If you want to advance the drills, you add them to the advanced footwork exercises that we've done in the past couple weeks, such as like step forward or the opposite. And so that would replace this forward, forward, side step, forward, forward. You're just trying to be able to quickly transition out of every scenario, that you're not going like, and then stepping. You don't want to step. You want to make sure that you're sliding, all right? So, practice those. We will see you guys tomorrow during tricking.
Thanks for joining us, guys.